We just finished the Tesla earnings call last week, and there were some very important little diamonds sprinkled into this thing that I think were not sufficiently covered by the media and their analysts. And probably the biggest thing outside the robotaxi related things and the fact that Tesla proved again that is the master of margins, the master of manufacturing, the master of execution with increased gross margins. Besides robotaxi and these gross margins, the biggest thing, in my opinion, is this news that great Tesla Ming from China brings to us with additional support and evidence. And that news was that Elon said, Optimus version 3, the long-awaited humanoid robot by Tesla, probably the world's leading humanoid robot that has been completely quiet, with no information leaking out of Tesla for the last 9 months plus. Everyone totally forgetting that Tesla is working on the most revolutionary product in human history. Well, the second most. The most revolutionary product are AI satellites by SpaceX and Tesla. But the second most revolutionary, Tesla Optimus, the humanoid robot, very emotionally engaging for humans because it looks like us, kind of, when you wear a helmet, do some workout and get very steely muscle. Then you look like Optimus. But you know what I'm saying. These humanoid robots are very exciting for people. It's very science fiction. And Tesla, of course, by far, by an enormous distance, the largest player in this space. The most money, $44 billion in cash sitting on the balance sheet. The most advanced engineering teams in the world. Elon Musk leading this whole thing. The largest AI compute cluster in the world. So they have some critical amounts of stuff there. Of course, the world's greatest marketing machine, Elon Musk's X account, where he can move hundreds of millions of these things in a single post if he wants to. So very exciting. And people are looking at that. And they forgot that Tesla is even working on this because Tesla was dead silent on their Optimus program. In the earnings call, Elon said two very important things. First of all, he repeated why Tesla is always so incredibly quiet about this. Because in this space, very different from other spaces they're in, the competition is actually hot. The competition is dangerous. The competition is aggressive. The competition is smart, not like Waymo. So the Optimus competition is way more smarter than Waymo. So you have to be cautious. They're also very Chinese, the competition. Xpeng, many others. And what that means is every time you do any kind of demo, there are little Chinese all over the place, and they will take a lot of photos and a lot of videos, and they will reverse engineer the hell out of Optimus to an extent that is scary. And the Chinese are extremely formidable engineers and reverse engineers. Elon knows that. That's why he said, we're not going to show anything about Optimus until the last possible moment. And the last possible moment is when we launch the actual commercial production of Optimus. Okay, let that sink in. That is very interesting. So that's what I said all along. I said it to you guys over the last year. Of course, we're not going to see any updates. I said it, I think, in April last year. I told everyone, forget about seeing demos. Why would he do demos? He's just getting copied. He's not going to do it. They are going to be zip silent on this until they're ready to launch it. And now comes the big bang. On the earnings call, Elon said they're going to go into production and debut version 3 of Optimus, the commercial version, in 90 days, which means probably in July. Tesla Ming says June, so make it July, maybe make it August, but somewhere around there. Because now we know this thing is ready. Now we know it's being prepared for production. And we are going to talk in a minute about how many of these will be produced and what that all means for the stock and strategically for the company. So what does Tesla Ming say? Tesla Ming is our spy in China. And he has found the Weibo, I don't know, my Chinese is not very good, Weibo account of Tesla. So you have to understand, Weibo is China's X. So X is not very big in China because it's censored everything. And Weibo is a giant Chinese X clone. And the most important Tesla news is not Tesla Asia on X, it is Tesla China on Weibo. And that is a post by Tesla China. You can read it yourself. Just kidding. I translated this for you. And of course, not I, but Grok. And here's what it says. The screenshot shows a post from Tesla Ming, a popular Tesla enthusiast news account on X who often shares updates from Tesla China. He's quoting or summarizing info from Tesla's official Weibo website. Key details from the announcement. Mid-year debut around June 2026 for the V3 Optimus. Mass production ramp starting July and August 2026. And of course, blah, 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 largest product ever. That's not that important. So this is very, very important. This is exactly what this post tells us. Tesla China now officially announcing it, not just in the earnings call, but on the Tesla China Weibo site. Tesla China has to do all this promotion about themselves because you want to recruit the best Chinese engineers. You want to keep the suppliers happy. So China has a giant infrastructure around Tesla Optimus. Just to be clear, the hands and all that kind of stuff, the actuators, everything is sourced in China, which is not very smart because it's a huge national security risk. But we have no choice because China is completely dominating in these fields. It will take a long time before America can catch up to this or even try to create these supply chains, but I'm sure someone is trying. For now, it's all China. That is why China is so important for Tesla to announce these things. So what does it actually mean? It means something that I elaborated on after the earnings call in my Pioneer Alpha strategy, that this is absolutely transformative and important for Tesla because it means this is a completely right now overlooked, underhyped, underappreciated soft catalyst of enormous proportions. You know that I'm describing hard catalysts, forcing functions, for example, robotaxi scaling as these things that directly drive sustainable cash flow increases that force even the most backwards analyst in their basement to reassess the stock. These are hard catalysts. Soft catalyst of big proportions like this one does not force the naysayers and the bears to admit they're wrong, but it leads all the bulls and the people who have reasonable sense in the middle to say, wow, that is crazy. We have to do something here and buy some stocks. And that is going to happen here. When you reveal V3, assuming it's a good demo, but I'm pretty sure it will be a good demo, and then you go into production, people know, okay, this is taking this thing to the next level. It's taking it to the level one step before the hard forcing function. That probably happens in 2027 or 2028 for Optimus. Robotaxi probably in 2026, by the way. But Optimus, if Optimus gets into production, gets deployed in the hundreds, maybe in the thousands inside Tesla this year, it sets us up for something absolutely revolutionary in 2027. Because I said again and again, this is not robotaxi. This is much easier than robotaxi. Once you have these things in production, you can sell tens of thousands of these things completely prematurely to industry partners and all kinds of people, to private individuals. Tesla Optimus can sell millions, in my opinion, before it's ready. Millions before it is ready. What do I mean with that? With readiness, I mean a robot that just hands-on beats, hands down, beats a human in physical labor. Okay, that is the inflection point where you can sell billions of these things, because then it becomes like AGI, like Anthropic, like Claude, like GPT, where people just have infinite demand for AI. You will have infinite scalable demand for these robots once they actually clearly beat, hands down, a human in physical labor. Now, I think that point is probably 5 years out, maybe 4 years out. I think the point is like 2030, 2031, where robots truly become much better than humans in specific physical labor activities. But I do believe you can sell millions of these things before they are superior, because they are so appealing, number one, to private households. How many households in America? How many households in Asia? How many households in Europe? How many households all over the world would buy this thing for $40,000 and pay $1,000 a month, even if it's not as efficient, even if it's more expensive than a human? Millions. I guarantee you that millions would buy this thing because it's just too cool. If it has any good utility, even if less efficient than a human, millions would buy that. Plus, millions in industry would buy this thing for pilots because they know this thing is coming in 2-3 years from when they buy it. And it's going to be super efficient. And now they have to start implementing these things. So that's why I'm more bullish than most that Tesla will reach 1 million Optimus sold per year before 2030 or in 2030. Because you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have this crazy crazy superiority. And that superiority is coming between 2030 and 2035. I'm 1,000,000% sure on that. And all of that means that what we see now in 90 days will be a catalyst for the stock. I'm very sure about that. So let's talk about scale. Okay, let's talk about scale. What did CERN write here? What did CERN do versus Brad Adcock? So Brad Adcock, the CEO of Figure, the biggest competitor of Tesla, Optimus in the United States at least, and much more outspoken, much more demo-oriented because it's a startup. They need to raise money. They need to create hype, very different from Tesla. What he posted here is humanoid robots manufactured at Figure by month. So this is the biggest American humanoid manufacturer, and you can see here CERN translate this into actual numbers. You can see what happened in April. They were at 150 per month, 107, 45. So they will keep scaling this probably because they can deploy all these things. They have a lot of funding, and people are going to buy this, probably BMW and Mercedes and some auto manufacturers. That's what we're looking at, 150. And why do I look at this? Because it tells you some things. Obviously, we can be very sure that Tesla will be more advanced than Figure 1. Optimus will be much more advanced than Figure 1. We can see here when they actually start scaling, right? They started scaling, and not really scaling, but in February they started scaling. You see that this thing works sufficiently, and you can be guaranteed that Optimus is better than that. So I think Tesla can easily, with extreme high likelihood, if they start doing this, deploy multiple thousands in 2026. And I reported, I think in December, on that leak, also by Tesla Ming, of Chinese manufacturers who actually said that they're preparing for up to 70,000 Tesla Optimus produced in 2026. The suppliers, the people who supply the parts. There were leaked contracts that Tesla is preparing a supply chain of over 70,000 robots per year for 2026, the run rate. So that would indicate something like over 10,000 in 2026. So when you let this all sink in, Tesla being very silent about these things, Tesla working very hard on these things, now announcing that they will start production. They will start production in 90 days. Just think about it. Think about the upside catalysts that might be hidden from us. Will they have potentially contracts? Will they have partners? Will they have Pepsi, like with the Semi? Will they have BMW? Probably not BMW. Will they have other manufacturers that are not auto manufacturers lined up? Say, I'm taking 100, I'm taking 100, I'm taking a dozen. How many of these? McDonald's. Just think about that. What are the effects of McDonald's or Burger King or Subway using humanoid robots? Just the marketing effect. Would McDonald's spend a few billion on these robots if they can actually do stuff at McDonald's just to say, look, we have these robots? And I would go to McDonald's. I would even buy something, probably the ice cream. I like the ice cream. So, that's $1.50 right there from me. Return on investment. I would go there 10 times, $15 right there from me, who never spends anything at McDonald's, if you had the humanoid. Now multiply me with $1 billion and you get a lot of money. So I would absolutely not be surprised if we hear announcements about pilot studies and deals when they start manufacturing. I don't know if that's the case or not, but just put the dots together and think about it. We will speculate on this more on this channel because this is very important also for the stock, because if that happens, oh my God, all bets are off. So Optimus was always the out of left field catalyst that can come. Now we know it is coming, and that is crazy. So go to pioneerlands.org. I'm always promoting this on this channel. This is our thing that we are doing. You can go here to Pioneer Lands. You can ask your questions. Click on ask a question, right? In the academy, you get on the academy by default. You just start with AGI, right? Artificial General Intelligence. You can click on robots. You can click on autonomy. You can read all the commentary and discussions. You can see the latest news here. AI Super News. From there, you see what's going on. So you see space AI, and you can just ask your question here and select your space, no pun intended. Click on autonomy. And if your question is good, or if you're a citizen, I will answer it every Sunday live. You can also view it after it was live on YouTube. And this is our way to interact, to get the smartest minds on, the smartest commentary, smartest questions, and stay on top of the game. I hope that was interesting. We have more coming on Cybercap, on Tesla stock, on NVIDIA, and on a lot of revolutionary things. I hope to see you very soon. We have some product announcements that are probably a little world changing, at least Tesla changing. So stay tuned, subscribe and like so you never miss anything. And I hope to see you tomorrow.